Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. I'm Matt. This is Augie. This is a YouTube channel about cross stitch. I also talk about books sometimes. This is not a regular Flosstube episode. Today I'm doing a Wip Parade because it's the end of the year coming up. I will probably start more things before the end of the year, just because I know of at least one thing that I'm definitely going to start. But also, the main reason why I wanted to do this is I have joined WIPGO for next year, and I want to get an idea. I want to look at all of my whips and figure out what I want to do, what I want to put on my board, what kind of goals I want to set for next year, basically. And I figured this would be a great way to get an idea for that and go ahead and get moving on that. This is the first time I'm going to be doing WIPGO. I also, I am relatively new to the non-monogamous stitching. 3 years ago, I probably had two things, but I would only work on one project until I didn't want to work on that project anymore, and then I might stop working on that and work on something else. But not like today. Not since I found Flosstube and everything and saw everything and just was, well, I mean, I don't know if this is the right term, but there's a, maybe, let's go with, I have a much more hedonistic approach to my cross-stitching now than I did before. So I wanted to go through everything. I haven't actually ever counted my whips. I didn't count when I did my first Wip Parade in my very first episode. But I'm going to count this time. So the goals are to try and see everything, figure out what I have going, and figure out what I want to work on for WIPGO for next year. I know a few things already that I definitely want to do, and just trying to get an idea. There are probably some projects in here that I did work on one day, or I started it and then I haven't touched it since then. I'm not at the point where I don't know that any of those will become something that I want to give up on. Generally, when I have done that in the past, it's been because I don't like it anymore, or it's a pain to stitch and it's just not working. There's stuff in here that I haven't really worked on much, but I don't think that it's because other stuff is more interesting right now, but not that this project won't be later. So I don't intend to UFO anything, I guess, is the actual statement that I'm trying to make, instead of just talking it to, taking 5 sentences to say it or whatever. But yeah, so the process, as you can tell, Augie is up here, and he's not going to stay up here because I have to move around and everything. But anytime I get in this chair, he tries to get up here and sit on my lap because he likes it, I guess. He generally tries to get on my lap most places where I sit on furniture in the living room, so that's not new. But we will. The lighting is probably going to change because I decided to go ahead and start doing this Sunday evening. It's technically light out, but it's going to get dark soon. Things should be changing, but we're kind of at where we're at right now. Okay, so I've broken up my projects by designer. So that was something that I wanted to play around with for next year, deciding, okay, do I really want to, how many of these by the same person or similar projects do I want to work on at the same time? I'm thinking that I want to focus on a couple, but that there's maybe, you know, like, I don't know. So I want to do that. I do have some that are set out separately because those are the ones that I have worked on in the last couple weeks, and I keep those in a separate spot than my everything else, or what I've worked on since my last episode. And I'm going to keep them that way because I'm going to do an actual episode next weekend, not, and I want to keep these in there, and I don't want to do like a partial episode here, and I want to do an actual one later. So, okay, well then the first one I'm going to start with, this is not one of the recent ones that I've worked on, but it is one that I show a lot, it was a couple months ago at least. This is the alphabet sampler. Well, it's not the title of it, but it's by Pain Free Crafts. It's their 2020 Stitch Along. There is every letter of the alphabet. Not all of them are out. X came out last weekend, and then Y and Z will be out here in December. And it's every letter is a different mythical or fantasy creature. I have a tiny little start on L for Leviathan down here, and I planned. This is definitely something I want to work on more. I kind of got distracted by other things. Not that this really annoyed me, but it's definitely one that I want to work on more. And so this is on a 32 count white Joblin, 2/1. And there are quite a bit of fractionals in this, especially this hippocampus one. That was a beast. That did take a while, but I really do love this pattern, and I want to finish it. And it's something it's something definitely that I want to work on, maybe getting finished next year. I'm almost halfway through the alphabet, so it should be something I could do. It's just, there may be new shiny things that I want to stitch on instead. And so that is I haven't like firmed that up that I'm definitely going to finish this for next year. But I think I could, kind of what's taken its place is the Dark Queen Sal. And I have been focusing on that one every month, the new part that comes out. And those are also doable, that I can finish that and still stitch on other things. So I want to keep working on this, and I plan to. I just haven't actually done it yet. So hopefully 2021 will be the year that this actually gets finished. And I probably will do like 3, or maybe like, I'll do some amount of letters as a space on my WIPGO board, because that way whenever it gets called I can, get those to the point where I got that, or, do all that. Okay, so that one I had set aside separately. Now I'll do the ones that I have worked on recently. So this is Woodland Santa by Autumntown Stitchery, and I don't have pictures of all of them, or I do have it on my iPad, but I'm just going to this is going to be a long enough video that I'm not going to show like all of them unless I have it printed out. So this is Woodland Santa by Autumntown Stitchery. This is on 18 count Jade Ada by Picture This Plus. It's not the called for. I switched it to that. It's a nice light green to it with some modeling. And I'm doing it 2/1 full cross. And this is one of the two kind of holiday or Christmas patterns that I have pulled back out to kind of get going. I don't have a whole lot of, you will see that this is changed because this is my one thing that I change out for the holidays as of right now, because this is the only holiday cross stitch that I have done. This is a Nordic Rhino that I did last year, or finished early this year. I started it last year as something that I wanted. but it's something like I want more things to have done so that I can put it up, switch out some pieces and everything. What was here is my Be Whale and Stitch piece that was from the Be Well and Stitch series that designers did at the beginning of, in March of this year. I took two from two different designers and kind of created my own version of it because of a funny little hearing of what I thought Stephanie and Pam said on Just Keep Stitching. So, or Pam and Steph, as they're probably more known as. Anyway, so this is Woodland Santa. I have really been enjoying this. I don't anticipate he will be done this year. It's a lot of stitching. It's a good sized piece, and there is quite a bit to do. I have thought about maybe not doing the trees and leaving just the fabric showing, and then there's some like white kind of framing or like horns, I guess, kind of around him that I could probably stitch white on the fabric instead of doing that, or maybe something like that. But I probably will do the trees. I just haven't got there yet to decide it. I've just been kind of going through, I got most of his face done, most of the beard, and then I've been working on this dark red color, getting these parts of his coat done, and I added in this little bit of green down here that's kind of the bottom of his coat. And this giant lantern also worked on since last time I showed him. But I have, if you are a follower and watcher of the Steel City Stitchers, you will, if you've seen their latest Flosstube, you will see that this is not the only Autumn Lane Stitchery project that I will be working on. Kristen and maybe Jody, and I think I saw Erin with her hand up, but maybe not. But there's quite that we're going to be doing the Autumntown piece that they released. That looks gorgeous. We're going to be starting it after Christmas, the day after Christmas, and as our hungover the holidays Sal, something like that. You do not have to actually be hungover to stitch it. I don't plan to be hungover. I like to hydrate when I drink, so I try to avoid that. No, I'm just kidding. My holiday plans are going to be a lot like Thanksgiving. I'm going to mostly be at home and Zooming with family and eating pie, probably. So I may have like a sugar problem versus an alcohol one. But because I don't generally drink a lot unless I'm like in a social situation. So I probably won't be hungover, but maybe we'll see. Anyway, it's gonna be great. You can follow along with us. You can join us. There'll be more information about it. I will say, most of the pattern is in DMC. There are 2 silks that Erin and Cassandra have called for. And then 2 weeks dye works colors that you need several skeins of, that some of the variegated floss if you want to do it that way. There's a DMC alternative in the pattern, and that's definitely something that you can do. I went ahead and I ordered the weeks, and I have ordered the floss, the silk, because it's Gloriana silks, and those are, I ordered them through Fire Poppies, but it's not part of their normal line, so they have to special order it. I looked on 123 Stitch, you couldn't find it. I think those make some of the trees look really, really interesting, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and get those. But those are going to take a while, and they probably won't be in before I start it, so I'm going to just stitch on other parts of the pattern until I get those, and then we'll add those in. But that's just to say, if you do want it, you may need to get some of the specialty floss, or be looking for that, because it may be harder to find versus just, unless you already have a big stash of that stuff. And I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, but you know, it's a good, it's a really interesting pattern, and I like it. It looks like it'll be fun to stitch. It is with most Autumn Lane Stitchery projects, it is a significant amount of stitching, but it's gorgeous. So I mean, you know, it's not they're not smalls. I mean, I think they have some, but I haven't stitched any of the smalls. They definitely do, and they have some ornaments that are in some of the magazines and stuff. There are smalls that they do, and they look great. I haven't done any of them, and I just seem to be going after their bigger projects. Speaking of which, this is the other. This is Dark Queen of the Sea. This is the year-long stitch-along from Autumn Lane, and it started in September. It'll be done next September. This is on the 32 count Joe Boleyn. Bewitched is the special fabric that Leslie at Under the Sea Fabrics did for this project. It is the project, the stitch-along is in conjunction with her. And it's coming along great. I have finished part 3 and I've moved into part 4. I'm doing the hair and working my way up. This 310 looks great. I don't know why the coverage is so good. I mean, the fabric is great. But I mean, it's just regular 310. I don't know. I am starting. So there are several hair options. There are 2 that come with the pattern. There's a blue and a purple, and there's also separate faces. So you could do the blue face with the purple hair, you could do the purple face with the blue hair, or you could do blue face and hair, or the purple face and hair. I am doing the blue face and hair. There are also some alternative hair sets that you can get. Erin released a special like add-on to it. I think it's $6 on Etsy, but you get 5 or 6, I don't remember how many, different hair colors. There's some that have like an ombre effect, there's a green one. All of them are ones that he tried to make sure that they would work with the color palette of the rest of the piece. And it was kind of like something he threw out there, and people were like, oh, that's really great, we want that, we want that. If you're new here, blue is my favorite color, and so I was fine with the blue one. So I didn't purchase it, but they are gorgeous. There are some really cool ones. I think they would be really great if that's something, if you like any of them, it's, you know, I think it's be worth it. But I am moving along. I will be working on the dark blue parts of the hair up here, and then kind of doing the hair and the face. I don't know. In the past, I've kind of broken it up to try and, like, 1 week I'll work on this part, and then I'll work on another thing. I'm not seeing as great of, like, kind of like 1, 2, 3 face is the 4 weeks, but I don't know. I'm just kind of working on it till I get to a point in a week, and then I kind of move on to something else. But I have been keeping up with it, and I anticipate to continue to keep up with it while it's going, and I really have been enjoying it and want to see where we go next. Because now that there's some other stuff up here that maybe we're going to do. Some of the I don't know exactly where we're going next, but I'm excited. It's gorgeous. There are a few fractionals, but nothing crazy. Not like the Pain-Free Crafts. That has a lot of fractionals. This has a few. It's very manageable. Stitchy Aardvark on Instagram is she's doing it, and she's only stitches on Ada, and so she is also doing the Pain-Free Crafts on Ada, and I told her, I was like, I don't know how you're doing that. Like, that would drive me crazy. I could not. I've done it some on certain things, but I could not try to split the threads every time you have to on that thing, because too much. But it was like she's a braver woman than me. Or person. So, okay, that is those two. Now, I am also working on Blueberry by MBC Stitch. Rachel Moore is the designer. And this is where I'm at. I have reached the side of the dress over here. And then I'm kind of building my way up. The way I typically work on this is I kind of do some of the, I try to do the dark blue and then the two lighter blues, and then leave like the main blue as the fill, so that if I'm in a position where I'm like, I've just got a little bit of, like I want monotonous stitching, I can just do that. And that way it makes it a little bit easier. So I have been working on this. I love it. This is on 32 count African Daisy by WIPGO. It's a Joblin. It is one of their like, it's like Summer Sky, or there's some other ones that I don't remember their names right now. But it's a really nice fabric. I really like the light yellow fabric to it, or color to it, and it's very nice to stitch on, and I like it. I've been really kind of gravitating more to the Joblin over the Lugana. It's a little bit looser. It's not as tight, I guess, as the Lugana. But I've stitched on some Lugana stuff recently too, and I like it. I like them both, so I'm not like, anyway, one over the other. I did change up my subscription with Bestitch Me for Fabric of the Month to the Joblin versus the Lugana, but that, because I have less of the in my fabric stash, I have much more Lugana than I have Joblin, and so I wanted to switch that up and add a little bit more so I have it. And if you know, it dyes differently, so you kind of, I think in general, you kind of get a little bit more of a more subtle modeling and color variation, versus on a Lugana you get a little bit more distinct. It's not like an Ada or a Linen. Those are much darker and more distinct than either of the even weaves, but you know, I think it's a good option. Okay, so those are those two. Next up, we've got the two ink circles that I've been working on. First of all, we have, I have it with me, okay, this is Forests of Sumatra. This is a 2018 pattern. It is the Dragons of Sumatra was first, then she did Forests of Sumatra, and then Squirrels of Sumatra came out after that. It's a gorgeous pattern. I am doing it on 36 count linen. One of the few things I have on linen. It's going all right. And I'm using the called for Gloriana silk in the Sumatra colorway. And the linen is by Bestitch Me, and it's Toast. It's the name of the fabric, or the colorway. So I have, so I did a center start, and then I did a bunch of stuff, and then I realized, no, I want 2 strands, not 1 strand over 2. So I did this, and then I frogged the 1 strand stuff, and then I've gone back now and added it in the 2 strand. I'm almost done with this motif, and then there's like a bird up here, and then I'll be kind of moving along. But I love this fabric, I love this pattern, I love the floss. It's so nice. I mean, it is silk. It's an expensive silk. I mean, because they're like $7 or $8 a skein, somewhere in there. But it's really nice. It is 8 ply, so you get an extra length. But I've found it very easy to work with. I really enjoy it. It's very soft. I'm a fan. It's not, you know, the best thing for the pocketbook by any means, but it's a really nice one, and I love this color. That was the main reason why I went with the silk, is because it's a beautiful dark, like dark turquoise teal to a green, you know, like a blue spruce kind of like dark blue color, and I really love that color. If I found that in cotton or something else, I would be using it in lots of things. I just haven't seen something quite like that in any of the others. Okay, this is a new start. So this is another ink circles. This is Dog's Declaration. Just another bigger ink circles. Sorry for the glare, but that's where we're at. So I'm doing this on a 40 count Verdal, which is an even weave, and it's just plain white. I just bought it plain and kind of went from there. And this is where I'm at. I did a center start, got most of this dog with one thread, and then did these squirrels. That's the start of an acorn, and then this is a T that I have done. I'm doing this with Julie, Kansas City Girl, and Colorado World. We both had this. I think I said I got it. She messaged me and said she had it, and we were going to stitch it together at some point. And then we were talking like, hey, when are we going to do that? And she wanted to get it started before the beginning of the year, so, or later. And I wanted to do it sooner rather than later, so we started this weekend. I'm going to keep working on this some more and get further along. The reason why, we both have this needle minder, so she had it on hers, and I was like, oh, I have that needle minder, I'm going to put it on there. So that was that. And then this is a grime guard from Garon Toten Bags. I bought it a couple months ago, but I saw it's dogs and stuff, and I was like, that'll work. That's gonna happen. That's what we're gonna do with that one. So we got that going, and this is with the Valdani threads that are the called for. There's a thread pack that you can get. I bought the thread pack from Garon as well. I don't know if they still carry it. I don't know if I got the pattern from them as well, or I bought the pattern for somewhere else. I don't remember, but I talked about it in a video a while ago. So, if you have any questions about anything that I'm stitching or what fabric it is or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment or send me a message on Instagram. I'm happy to help you answer any questions. It's just a little bit easier to do that than to keep everything and fill it all out in the description box. I especially on a video like this, I probably would run out of characters anyway. So, but yeah, we're almost at 30 minutes and I've shown 6 projects. So this is gonna be a long one. If you don't have it already, stop, pause, go get yourself a drink, and then come back. Maybe some popcorn, enjoy. Or break out a new skein of floss that you're gonna be using. Okay, so this next one is called, I have 2 Heaven and Earth designs that I have started, asterisks. So this is called Intimate Encounter, and it is the artwork is Sandra Santera, and then it's Heaven and Earth Designs. I am doing this on a 28 count easy guide, or easy grid, 2/1 tent stitch. I have kind of evolved what I want to do for, or what works well for me for these big full coverage projects, and this is what I've really liked. So I have been enjoying the coverage, I've really enjoyed it a lot, and I've been kind of moving along. I haven't really worked on it a lot since the last time I showed it, but it is something that I want to work on. I think it's definitely something that I'm going to keep working on. This and my other Heaven and Earth, I'll probably do not necessarily pick one of them, but Heaven and Earth design, get this many stitches, and that would be for the year, and that would be where, something that it doesn't matter which one I work on. I do have another one that I'm getting kitted up to be ready. I have several that I have got fabric for, and I've cut the fabric. I just haven't bought the floss, and I have quite a few that I haven't done anything with. But I want to wait until I get to a certain point with this one and my other one before I start another one. Because they take a lot of time. I'll enjoy them when I'm working on them. Pattern Keeper is an amazing thing, and I would not be doing as many, or really probably any of these without that. It was great. I really love it. So, Intimate Encounter, Heaven and Earth Design, definitely going to be working on that more. Okay, so the next one is my other Heaven and Earth design, and oh wait. Okay, so this is where that asterisk came from. This is going to be Once Upon a Fairy Tale. I had started Once Upon a Fairy Tale on 25 count and was doing it 1/1 full cross and got pretty far, pretty decent amount, and I really do like it, but I want to do it 10 stitch. So I bought the fabric and I'm going to restart it. I just haven't gotten around to actually stitching on it again, so I haven't restarted it. But that is definitely one that I'm keeping, and I just pulled this out. But yeah, so it's definitely one that I'm going to use, and I do want to make sure that I get between the two of them to a certain point over the course of next year. So that'll be one of my... and I think it was, I decided I wanted to get to 8,000 stitches between the two before I start my other one. And it's definitely going to be in next year when I start the other one. But I should have most of the floss now for that, so I could. Okay, now we're into the Miras. So these are all patterns. They're not in really in order, but this is the last one that I did start. This is Miss Cherry Blossom by Mirabilia, Nora Corbett. This is what she's going to look like. She's a really pretty geisha. And this is, yeah, I think that's the right way. Oh, that is, well, that's better. Sorry. Okay, I'll bring, nope. This is the lighting problem. This is what we have to live with right now. Okay, so this is on Daffodil by Fortnite Fabrics. This was like the March, maybe, fabric of the month in the colorful club that they did this year. It's 32 count Lugana. I love this fabric. And the called for is actually like a pale pink or lavender. What is pale? Pink. Yeah, touch of pink is the called for. So this was different. There is a little bit of orange that will be like on part of her dress, but I think it's gonna still work. I really do love it. It is kind of a little, it's not really confetti, but there's a little like, you definitely get like, okay, you only use this amount, then this amount. It's a little, you do have to change your thread a lot. In this particular one, not all Miras are like that, or there's going to be parts of her that are not like that, but where I started is one of those parts. But yeah, I did a little bit of this. I did this with, I started this one as part of Erin, 2 Martini Stitchers, started Mira. She started her first ever Mirabilia. She's doing Touch the Autumn Sky, and she started it last month, October. I don't remember. And I started this with her. And then this is a needle minder that I got from Fire Poppies. And the reason why I'm using that on here is because Miss Cherry Blossom was in the first order that I made from Fire Poppies. I think may have been, well, it was very early in my relationship with Fire Poppies. I don't know if it was my first time ordering from them, but it was close if it wasn't. I ordered Miss Cherry Blossom. I ordered the fabric for my Pain Free Crafts project, and some, I think, random DMC and some things. But it is, so that's why I put it on here, because it reminds me when I got that. And that is that one. definitely one that I want to work on. I'm thinking though that I'm going to try and focus on a couple of my Mira/Noras, and I know I'm going to start another one before the end of the year, so you know there's going to be more, but to me it's not like, oh, I don't feel like I'm getting too many, but I don't know where. I want to make sure that I'm getting good progress, and I don't mind starting new things, but I may not necessarily keep working on them, or I might start something and then like keep working on it, and that kind of throws everything off. So anyway, I'm still figuring out what works best for me, and this next one is one that I definitely want to work more on this year. This is Lady Justice by Mirabilia. She is this was the first one I ever bought. I did not start her first, but she was one that I was like, when I found Flosstube and saw people talking about these and was like, oh, what's this? Oh, I like that one. And this is on, yeah, this way. 32 count, Joblin, Bestitch Me, Princess. No, Ice Queen, yeah. Yeah. So it's actually like a light blue gray color, and it's got a little modeling to it, but not a whole lot. It's pretty subtle, but I really like it. It stitches, the fabric is wonderful to stitch on. I love it. I really do enjoy, this is like part of the like sash of her, and there's really like, there's a few colors and it's really easy to work on. I really been enjoying it. I haven't worked on it in a while. I know Pam was working on it last month or recently, and I was like, oh, I really want to stitch on mine too, and then I didn't. It's, you know, other things. But this is definitely one that I want to work on and want to do sometime in the next month, or not month. This is definitely going on the board. And a specific one like this one I want to work on. I think I have to. Sorry, some of these are a little bit tight on getting the Q-snap back in when they do work, so you gotta do it the right way. These are my lovely Amazon bags that say that they're big enough for an 11 by 11, but not always are they. But anyway, most of them aren't. Okay, next up we have another one, and I have taken her off the Q-snap because I haven't worked on her in a while, and I needed the Q-snap for something else. Okay, so this is another Mira. This is Princess Elena. She's one that came out this year. God, that's really bad. Maybe I need to turn the light off. No, I don't know. But this is, she came out this year. I bought her, pre-ordered her through Fire Poppies again. Yeah, I think so. And this is on a 32 count Lugana in Gaia, which is from Bestitch Me. This is one of my favorite of her fabrics. And it uses all of the like 1 through 35 of DMC, and then additional colors as well, but it does have all of those in it. And her dress is very big, overflowing, and you know, kind of billowy, and this is where this is what I have done so far. It's just a little bit, I mean, it's a good amount of stitching, but you know, that's where I got to. That may be upside down. It may go this way. I don't remember. But she's one that's probably not going on the list. I really do like her, and I do want to work on her, but I feel like there's some other ones that I want to do first, and want to get more progress on. But who knows? March could happen, and I may decide, oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So, and then, I believe this is this is the last memorabilia. I do have another couple Nora Corbetts, but this is Deco Spirits. This is kind of an odd Mira. It's one of her older ones. It's odd because there's no beads and it's pretty much full coverage in each of the panels. I'm doing them individually, and I'm doing them on 32 count Lugana in white. And, oh, that glare is horrible. Okay. Please bear with. I'm gonna see if we can adjust this a little bit, maybe. What? That's not great. Maybe. Okay, this is what we're going with. It's not the best lighting, but it's less glare, and you can actually maybe a little bit better. We'll go with this. Okay, so this is, I've started the Air one. This is the only one I've got to so far. These are, I really like Art Deco style stuff, and this was the second one I ever bought and the first one I ever started. And then there's like, it's called for Krynic, but I switched to Petite Treasure Braid by Rainbow Gallery. Augie, get out of the tree. No, leave it alone. Yeah, so it's pretty much full coverage pieces. So I have really been enjoying it. I do like it. It's not like when I stitch on other Miras, like it doesn't feel like the same kind of project. So yeah, I have been working on this one a while, and this is the corner and the bottom, and then this is the top. So, well, no, there may be a little bit more above it, but there's not a whole lot. So it's a decent size on 32 count. I think I've got to go over here a little bit more, but I really have been enjoying these, and I probably will put, this will go on there, but maybe like 2 panels, so like finish Air and then do one of the other ones. That would be a good goal. That way I can get closer to being done with them. And that would kind of make me work on those over other things, so that's a good idea. Oh, I just opened that one. Okay, so I've got to figure out a system of where I'm putting stuff. And as you notice, I have not been counting. I will count at the end, I'll tell you how many I have. But yeah, okay. All the ones that I've been working on this, and since my last Flosstube, those are, I'm interested, all of those are I'm gonna keep working on, and probably work on the, go on the chart. Except Dark Queen, I don't think I'll put her on the chart, on the WIPGO chart, because I think she will just, I'm just gonna keep working on her every month. And so I don't see a reason to have her like be something extra. Because it's not like, I mean, like if it gets called one month and it's like, okay, I'll work on the piece that I have still ready to go. But anyway, okay, this is Lady Cat. I have 2 Nora Corbetts on the same piece of fabric that I have been working on. And this is Lady Cat. She is one of the orchids. Beautiful. I worked on her recently for Vicky's Stitch and Button's birthday. I haven't really worked on her since then. But she's also on Gaia, 32 count Lugana, Be-Stitch Me. And then I also have Miss Ginkgo on here as well. And she's a pretty, she's part of the Autumn Pixies collection. And when I started her, I did the skin 1/1. I started the skin 1/1. And so I'm probably going to keep that. I don't have a whole lot started. So that's where she's at. I have been more interested in continue to work on Lady Cat than Miss Ginkgo. I like her. I think she's gorgeous. She's pretty. And I will definitely want to work on her again. But it's kind of like, I've just been, I think Lady Cat's gonna go, but maybe not Miss Ginkgo. But I have found, at least for my sizing, that I can get, generally I can get 2 of the Nora Corbett's, not Mirabilia's, but the Nora Corbett brand pixies or whatever on 1 fat quarter of 32 count. But like, and then like the other ones, you need like 1 fat quarter for the whole thing. On some of the other ones. What are you looking at me for? You just went out. Okay. Whatever. Put this the right way so that it fits in, and then we get an easy close. Okay, so that's a definite, at least partial. Okay, this, and I don't have the picture. This, I believe, is by Stitcherovia, who's on Etsy. Emma Cogden is the designer name. She has, well, when I bought it, she had an Etsy store. I think she still does. I don't know why she wouldn't. But this, she has a pattern that is like laundry, and it's got a bunch of, I don't have a picture with me, but I started this as part of Mania. And I have done that. So that is a tiny bit. This is that's part of the word laundry. I did this on, it's only 2 colors, and you use the like white of the fabric, then the pink, and then there's a bright electric blue. This is on 22 count Hardinger, right? And I did it 2/1 tent stitch instead of doing like full crossing it. And I have been I liked that. This was before I really did 28 count 1/1, or 2/1 tent stitch. I don't think it's going on the card. The idea was, oh, this would be a cute thing to do and put up in the laundry room. It still is. It still would be. I think it might be better on 28 count, and I might just do that. But it's sorry, I got a little notification and I was trying to like see if I could decipher it. Because I put my phone on airplane mode, but I'm on the internet, so I'm still getting like the Facebook and Instagram notifications. So, c'est la vie. But I think this may end up being a restart on a smaller fabric and doing it 2/1 tent stitch, which this is 2/1, I think. Yeah. But it may be, but it's not going to be on the board. I like it. I still would like to have it for my laundry room at some point, but it's not, she's not calling to me much these days, or really any day since Mania. Okay, this is my other, oh, do I have a picture? That's all the chart. Why is there not? What? This is also by Stitcherovia. Yeah, Winter Deer. Okay, it is in my printer's black and white, so you don't get the color. But this is Winter Deer by Stitcherovia. I love this pattern. I started it last year after Christmas, but like after I finished / gave up on my Christmas stitching. There's only one piece. It's done now though, so. But this is on an 18 count Aida, 2/1, and yeah, this is the wrong color, but I'm leaving it because I like it. It's slightly off, it'll still work, but yeah, it's a great pattern. I really enjoy it. I have, this is the other one that I will definitely be doing more. I did work on part of this during the Christmas in July. I only have a couple patterns that are like really holiday-y, but this is definitely one of them, and this is definitely one that I will be working on this December. And then I plan to continue to work on it after the new year because it's still winter, and this is Winter Deer, not just Christmas. And it's not really Christmassy necessarily. But this is definitely going on the WIPGO. Or this is a high contender if we're not there. Okay, then this is another Mania start. This is Stitcherovia, and this is In the Forest. It's the name of it. Tiny picture. Sorry. And this is on 32 count Jobelin. I think this is Jobelin. Yeah. Yeah, because it was a mini cut. This is on Gold Rush, I think is the name of it. So I did this. Wait, I think it goes this way. Sorry. This is my tiny start for Mania. So I started this as part of Mania this year, where I started 20 things. I started 21 things in the month of May because I also did a birthday start because my birthday is in May. And I have not worked on it since then. I do like this a lot, but it's very similar to the Winter Deer, and I'd rather continue to work on Winter Deer before doing this. But this is smaller, so this may come back out. This is a maybe because it's a smaller one. I could definitely get this done quicker than Winter Deer as they currently stand because there's just less on here to do. So, yeah. Okay, new designer now. We're in the Long Dogs. So, we have, this is the first one I have started. This is Castles in the Air by Long Dog Samplers. I started this as part of Long Dog Leaf Day Start from Erin to Martini Stitcher. I have not been so successful at working on this every 24th of the month. But I do have, like, I'm definitely going to put this on the board because I want to get a page finished and move on to another part. I have most of the main stitching done for this page. There's some more black work, which I've done some of it up here. It's coming along. I really love this pattern. I love the fabric and floss combination. It's gorgeous. This is 32 count linen in toast from Be Stitch Me. One of my favorite fabric colorways that she's ever done. And then this is, don't remember the number. It's Silks for You, and I'm not sure the number, but it's not really variegated. It's just like a blue. It's got a little purple to it, but it's mostly blue. It's a pretty blue, and yeah, you know, it may be. I've used it in another pattern that you'll see. So we may find out the number later. But this is definitely going to go, I think, maybe, because I'd like to have it done by the next leap year. So it's 9 pages, and that would be doing like 3 pages every year. So let's do, it's definitely going to need to be stitched on more if I'm going to keep that goal. So why don't I do, okay, my guess is I'm going to put like 4 pages, finish 4 pages on this. Because then if I do that in 2021, and then 2022 and 2023, and by the time 2024 in February, it will be done. So if I do 4 pages and then that leaves 3 and 2, or 2 and 2. Well, wait, I could just do 3. Well, 4 because I didn't even get a single page finished so far in this year. And so it's definitely one I need to work on more. So let's do that. And that's definitely gonna be on there. This is my other long dog that I have started. This is called the New Normal. This is a pretty new chart. She has one newer that I also own but have not started. And I am doing this on 16 count Ada from Be Stitch Me in the Autumn colorway. And it's a little bit, there's a little bit more of this kind of color and this red, in the rest of the fabric. And then the floss that I'm using is Darling by Mrs. Sadis. And as you can see right here, it's a beautiful dark blue to teal, gorgeousness. So, not really that dark, but bright blue to teal. I just started this. I have a couple days of stitching in it. I really do like it. It's a lot bigger than Castles in the Air, and I want to focus on Castles in the Air more. So this may not go onto the board, but I do want to work on it next year because I would like to get it done eventually. How we all do. Okay. Now we're into Satsuma Street. This is another one of my designers that I like a lot. I have a lot of her stuff. And okay, so this is Primavera, which is, she has done all 4 seasons. This is spring in Italian. And each of the seasons is like a 9x9, 3x3, 9 panel little design. Julie, Kansas City Girl in Colorado World, Noah Stitches, Scott Stitches in Spain, are all 3 doing Otoño, which is the autumn version. They all have been working on that, and so I think Scott maybe is done or is close to being done. The last time I saw, he was very close. So Julie started or got Otoño because of seeing me work on this one. So it's definitely, so I'm doing them individually. I'm not doing all 9. There are certain ones in each month that I like, in each season that I like, and I'm doing like a group of them because I would like to finish them kind of like this on like a little stretched over canvas. And so I just have little blocks of 16 count white Ada that I intend to do them on, and then do the little border around it. I may need to buy more of that floss, but because I only have 2 skeins. But that's kind of how it is. I am doing these in the called for colors. All of these patterns use DMC and then variegated DMC. Some of it is the there's kind of different colors. That is one of the tulips. I've got, this is one of the bird sets that I have started. You can see, I mean, that's kind of where I've been going. I've got all 4 of them, the seasons. I think I have most of the variegated floss that I need. And then, but I need more plain 16 count white Ada. So this, I had been using like the cheap stuff that you can buy at Michael's or whatever. But my Michael's has not had that recently. They've been kind of out of the 16 count, and I want to keep them at 16 count. I don't want to switch to something else. And I don't really want to buy a yard of Zweigart to have enough of this when I can buy, an $8 half yard or whatever it is. But that's kind of, I do want to keep working on these. I want to get some of these done, so I think I'm going to put this on the board and have, get some, because these are small enough that I could really definitely get some of these done. So maybe do like 3 or 4 of the panels for a piece on the WIPGO board. That way I can get that, but I may, well, yeah, we'll just go with that. So, okay, this is my other Satsuma Street Forest. I did Alpine by her last year, or this year. I finished it early this year. I loved it. I love her colors. I love all of it. I started this in Mania. I haven't really worked on it since then, but it's a really big piece of fabric, but it is really wide, so that's why. So this is 32 count Lugana in toast. You can see why this is such a great fabric. I mean, it's great, and there's a variation from type of fabric to the type of fabric, but I think that's upside down. I think it goes this way. But I started it in the middle, and this is going to be, the forest. There's another, the Winter Bird, I think is the name of it. There's another pattern that uses almost all the same colors. There's like a slight 1 or 2 colors difference. I have that too. I'm not going to start that until I finish this one. I do want to do this one and do it as like a bolster pillow like that, like the way it's shown. But yeah, this is definitely one I should work on it more. So yeah, that's one I want to put on my board, definitely. Okay, this is my other Autumn Lane stitchery that I have going. And this is Potions and Spells. This is on a 32 count Lugana in Jody Wizard fabric, as I call it. But I think maybe a little bit, but yeah. So I did Jody from the Steel City Stitchers. She was dyeing up some, like playing around with some fabric, and she put something like this up on her Instagram, and was like, what would you stitch on something like this to give me an idea? And if I like your idea, I'll send you some fabric. So I told her I'd put a Batman piece on it, and then she got me and she sent it to me. And then, as you can tell, this is not Batman, although there is a Batman needle minder. But the piece she sent me is big enough that I can do this one, and the Batman piece that I was thinking of doing. So I have the Batman piece as well, and it's the other half of this fabric is set up to do that. But this pattern came out right around the same time, and I was like, oh, that would look so good, I think, because it kind of reminds me of like the kind of like stained glass or like glass window type thing. And the pattern of this is, she's in like an old-timey castle or something and playing around with her magic and spells and potions and whatnot. Now, I did change the color of the magic. I changed it to a electric blue versus a seafoam color that it is. Her face is also part of that color. I'm not changing her to blue. She's going to be green in the face, but I may change. There's a couple of the potion bottles that are kind of like a dark red, and I may change those to blue too. I'm kind of waiting to see what the rest of how it looks with everything, if I want to change them. It just kind of seemed like with the other things that I changed, I don't know if I need to keep them that way or if I could just change it all to the blue. And so that's kind of where I'm at on that one. I really do enjoy this. I took it off the Q-Snap. This was like my only Halloween-y pattern that I have. I know like everybody's like Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Okay. So I have this one, but it's not finished yet, so I can't put it up on the wall. But this is definitely going on the board. I want to work on this. I don't know if I'll get it finished next year, but definitely like, I mean, that would be really nice. Okay, so that's all that one. These are definites. These are no. Okay, we've only got a little bit left, and it's an hour, so I think we're going to be under 2 hours. Okie dokie. All right, this is by Stitchy Little Fox on Etsy. Oh, I do. Nope, that's just the fabric or the floss list. This is part of my I'll Be Stitching Sal with Becca Sambry Stitches. We're doing owl-themed patterns, and really anything that we have that has an owl in it, we're using that tag. You can do the it's not ending at any time. We've both started projects that we were doing on this. Mine is a forest owl, or like it's like an outline of an owl with like and it looks like a forest, and it's kind of a dark blue, navy color scheme to lighter blue. And so I am doing it on this 18 count green Ada that I had from Be Stitch Me. It doesn't have a name. I bought this over a year ago. I used it for a Christmas present last year, the other half of this fabric. So it's a gorgeous color, and I'm really happy with it. I like it. This is definitely a pattern that's easy to do when I don't need to really think about a lot. I'm kind of building up the dark trees and then kind of expanding out from there. And that's how far I'm at. This is the tail feathers, so this is kind of the bottom of it. And then this is the top of that part, and you got a claw out here, and then you got a wing that way. So you can kind of start to see it if you use your imagination. This is definitely going on the board. I want to make sure and do that. Okay, this is by Anita Stitch, and this is Japan Himeji Castle, and I'm probably mispronouncing that. I don't know how to say that. But this is she's on Etsy, and I bought this pattern. She has quite a few other ones, some really cute ones. I bought several of hers, and this is the only one I started. I started it in Mania, and I haven't really done much to it since then. So I just kind of have a little start. This is on a 32 count Joblin from Be Stitch Me, and I don't know, it wasn't named, but I've just got this little start of the roof, essentially part of the castle. I like it, but it's kind of one of those where it's like, or what I'm feeling, it's not going to go on the board. I do like it. I don't want to not work on it, but it's something that it's one of these that I started because I needed to start something in Mania. I don't think I'm going to do a full Mania again because I've had a couple of these where I'm like, I don't know that I really want to work on that. I've got stuff that I've got kitted and ready to go, and I'm like, I don't really want to work on that right now, or maybe not. Maybe my taste change and I don't want to do it ever. But, you know, you learn and you move on. it's a great pattern, and I do want to do it. It's not one, I'm not UFOing it by any means. I just don't know when I'll work on it again. Okie dokie. And I don't have a picture, I don't think, of this one, because it's just the chart. Nope. Okay, so it was not. Wait, this is. Okay, this is. Oh, there it is. Okay, this. What's it called? Little Turtle. This is by a Russian designer on Etsy. The artist that this was designed off of was Kristina Menshikova, and then the designer is Nadia Gravelinikova, I think. She has a lot of amazing designs. I have bought several of hers. She has some great space patterns of different animals. I've got like the space fox, a space lynx, and a space owl that are all gorgeous. I want to do them someday. I haven't started. There's blends, there's a lot of things. It's very, very cool. This is a turtle with succulents on his back. There's a lot of different floss for it. I started it. It's on 18 count Ada. That's the back. This is a piece of fabric from Garibaldi Needleworks, and it's in navy blue. Is the color that it is. I love this fabric. I have bought from them not in a while, but they were one of the first like hand dyers that I bought fabric from. It's been really good. I've only bought Ada from them. I've never bought anything else, and I like the kind of modeling that they have on it. So I've got this. I've got some like a dark green that my fox is on. That I finished, and I did I have a piece of another blue that I have a piece started on that is not currently in, it's kind of in timeout. I started it well before all of this or all Flosstube or anything that I knew about. So, but yeah, I've got, it's not going to go on the chart. I really like it. I love this pattern. You can get, since I bought this, she has released just the turtle with the succulents. I'm not doing the stuff around it either, but you can get that just as a pattern by itself now. She has gorgeous dragons, all sorts of stuff. She's a great artist. There's backstitch, there's lots of that. Now, she does do, like, you get two patterns. You get the stitching, and then you get another one that has the backstitch on it, so you don't have to, like, it's not going to be confusing. There's quite a bit, and it's a Russian, Eastern European design style, which, it will look really good at the end, but there's a lot to it. So this is not going to go on the board, but I still really like this, and I definitely want to do it someday. Maybe I'll just try to work on it more next year. Okay, this is probably my oldest whip. Yeah, this is my oldest whip. This is the Mighty Samurai by Dimensions kit. Right? Mighty Samurai? Yeah, the Mighty Samurai. I started this the summer of 2013. I know because of what I was doing. This is on the kit Ada, which is an 18 count ivory Ada. I'm actually quite far. I just haven't worked on him in quite a while. So, I mean, I've got the rest of his pants, this part, the peacock, the tree. There's quite a bit left to do, but I have done quite a bit of him. It's a lot. I really do love this pattern. I mean, I like Dimensions kits. I definitely want to work on this more. This is a maybe. I think maybe he should go on the thing. We'll see. But that's, because I've got 24 slots to fill. That's definitely a maybe. And I could work more on him. And he's close enough that I could definitely get something. Okay, this. Oh, This is Satsuma Street. Sorry, she's out of order. But this is Let's Stay Home. I am showing the pattern, but it's a free one. So I started this one barely. This is on a 32 count, I think, linen in Stellar. This is not, I'm not a big linen fan, as you remember, but I had this and I wanted to work on it. I wanted to start it. So this is the part of the home. That's where it starts. Yeah. So I did that. This is a fat quarter that I bought at my LNS. I like this pattern. It's a freebie from Satsuma Street. I had also was going to do the Autumn Lane freebie that they did, Be Well, on the same fabric, but I don't think I'm going to now. I don't think it really works. This one may be close to a UFO. I don't know, but it's not going on the chart. I like the pattern, but there's a lot of things that I want to stitch before I stitch on that. So, it's really pretty. Maybe, well, yeah, anyway. Okay. I really need to work on this more. Okay, this is, nope, I don't have the name. Okay, well, I can tell you what it will look like, but there's no picture that's not the chart. So this is going to be Baby Yoda, or Grogu, or the child, whatever name you want to use. I bought this last year. It's a little Grogu in the little hover pod thing that he uses in the first season a lot of The Mandalorian. I'm doing it 1/1 on 25 count. This was extra Lugana that I had from my attempt to work on a Haid at one point. And I'm doing it 1/1 because I want to make it into a ornament. I've done a little bit, but not a whole lot. The reason why it's in this Christmassy project bag is because it's going to be an ornament at some point. I think this should go on the board because I want to get this done. I really love that show, and that's something I could do, and I could definitely get that done in a month because it's tiny. Even though it's 1/1, it's really easy to do. Okay, next one, we've got Paper Crane Stitches, and this is Simply the Best. This is from the Schitt's Creek show. This is Rose Apothecary. This is Julie and a couple other people were doing this as a stitch along. I had it, or I got it, and I was going to join in. I did for a little bit, but I have got the base of it done. And then that yellow was just to I wanted a gauge of where I needed to make sure to start in front of. But it doesn't mean anything. But so this is the base of it, and it's, so I've got that all the way done, and then I was starting to work up. This is a maybe. This is on 32 count Lugana in Earth by Be Stitch Me. It's a nice teal and kind of pinky color to it. It's a pretty nice neutral. Well, it's not really neutral, but it's not too. It's pretty subtle. I guess is what I'm trying to say, and it's colors that I like. So I love her, and I love a lot of her patterns, but I've got a couple different fandom things. I love Schitt's Creek. It's an amazing show. I watched it twice through, and probably will again because it's just hilarious. So I do think I want to do it. I'm a little struggling on where would I put it when I finish it? How would I? I probably would just put it up on the wall. So it's a maybe. I need to put this in the maybe. This is it. Probably. maybe, probably, yes, no. You know how these things go. Okay, next up we have another fandom pattern, and do you have a title, please? There's no picture. This is called Baby Yoda, number 595. Oh, is that? Oh, there's a picture too. Hold on. So this is by Nikki Pattern, and it's a. That's what it will look like. So it is a. It's a silhouette, and you know, outline or whatever. Okay, this is where, and yeah, I didn't iron these things. I didn't put them on boards. If that was going to happen, you wouldn't get this by the new year. But this is on just an 18 count, I think, Witchelt Navy Ada. So it's super stiff, but I think so the pattern calls for it to be on black, but I think it'll be great the way it is. I've got, so like this is kind of his ear out to here, and then I'm, you know, kind of building it back in. I really like these silhouette kind of patterns, so I've got a couple of them going. The owl, the forest owl, that type of thing, some of the other fandom ones that I have. I really like these. They are, I've got a couple, so I haven't, oh, I didn't grab that one. Okay, well, we'll have to, I just thought of another one that's by my bed, that's why I didn't grab it. Okay, so, this is a maybe, because it's, I have quite a few like it, and I don't necessarily want a whole lot of those. So I may do something, that's a maybe, we'll see. And this is probably joining it. So this is Captain Marvel, and I think it's, nope, I have no name. Okay, well, this is another similar kind of pattern, and it is, I don't have a picture, because it's just the like pattern, and I don't want to show that. Okay, but you can kind of get like the start of her there. So it's Captain Marvel. So like the overall outline is like a silhouette of her face, like a cameo kind of, you know, profile picture of Captain Marvel from the movie, and then there's this silhouette of her in black in the center, and then, you know, the rest of her face is different colors that kind of align with that. And this is I think it's a 16 count Ada. It's from Be Stitch Me, and I think it's ocean blue is my guess. But yeah. And I'm doing it, so the black I'm using the Etoile black, and there's a big chunk of red that's also going to be an Etoile. I think that may be the only Etoiles that I used, but then, yeah, there's just some other colors. I like this one. It reminds me a lot of my Doctor Who one that I finished last year, or this year, and so there's like three at least that are kind of in this same kind of vein and all kind of like fandom-y, that I definitely will have something. I may just do that, may put like fandom, and then but like I want to do this one, then this one, then that one type of thing, so I may do that. But the one that I forgot to bring out, which I will go grab in a minute, is the one that I want to get done first. So, okay, this is the Owl Forest Embroidery 100 Owls Sal, and I am still on part 1. This has been kind of my like lowest priority Sal to keep, like all three, the Dark Queen of the Sea Sal, the Autumn Lane, which is Autumn Lane, the Hello Dear Sal from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and Owl Forest all came out like around the same time. It was like, I cannot work on all of those at the same time. And Caterpillar was every 2 weeks. And then Owl Forest every week something new comes out. Now the first one was really big. But yeah, I have not doing that. I'm doing it on a 40 count Verdal and Tree Hugger. So I'm doing 1/2. I like 40 count, but it's harder. I like it. I'm not as fast on it. I think it's beautiful. I like the way my stitches are. I think it's really great. I chose to do it on 40 count because I could get it all on one fat quarter that I already had, and I didn't have to get a bigger piece of fabric. I also think the green is going to make it look great. So I have been working on this, and I will continue to plug along on this, but I'm not getting it done anytime soon. This is probably one that would be great to put on the chart. That's a maybe. So yeah, we'll keep this in the maybe pile. And yeah. Okay, speaking of stitch along, we now are shifting to Caterpillar cross stitch Hello Dear. I'm also, well, I've done a little bit of part 2 as well, but I have not finished. I'm way behind. The sal is over, or the final parts come out. I will probably, I don't know if I will put this on the chart, but once, yeah, maybe I will, because I was thinking I would kind of use this, work on like put in a thread or 2 links every day to try and I did that with Hello Pumpkin, and I got like that, or like got a motif done every day, and that helped me kind of keep track on it. So I may do that. It may not go on the chart, but one of those, I want to work on it. I want all 4 of the season trees. So that's kind of where I'm at on that one. Oh, and that's 18 count Herald by Picture This Plus. And okay, this one is definitely going on the chart. So this is the Mid-Century Gardens set. And this is a collaboration by Ink Circles, Hands On Design, and Summer House Stitchworks. These are 3 separate patterns, and you can do all 3 of them in, separately or individually, or however you want to do it. I'm doing them 3 in the same piece right along each other, the same thing. They're also, each designer gives you a different color palette to choose from. I kind of used sort of the Hands On Design color palette. Well, between the hands, wait, no. It's kind of a mix between the Hands On Design and the Ink Circles. It's closer to the Hands On Design, but I changed it up myself. I picked some different colors. And this is how far I've got. This is the middle one, which is the Hands On Design. This is the Ink Circles one that I've got a little start to, and then this is where the Summer House Stitchworks one will go. This is on 32 count Jobelin in Earth by Be Stitch Me. I'm using my own colors. They're all DMC. One is, I'll pull it out. The dark one is a solid color. The dark teal is 3765. The coral is 106. And then the light teal variegated one is 4022. So I have all of those. This is definitely one that I want to get done next year. I started it in Mania, I think I started this one in Mania. Maybe I did both. I don't remember, but I have worked on it since then. I enjoy it. I've got this pretty much done. I've just got to get the border done on the middle, and then kind of move over here or move over here and finish it out. So yeah, that's where we're at. I love these. They're really great patterns. That's definite. Okay. We're into our last designer. Well, second to last, because I've got another. Gotta go grab something to show you. Okay, so this is ink circles, and this is Castle Walls. So it's another big one. I'm doing this on a 36 count linen because, I don't know, well, I started it a while ago. I started it before Mania, I'm pretty yeah. So this is on Earth, another piece of Earth. You can see in the linen it's a little bit different, but I really like it. It's not going to take the full piece. I started it kind of here in the middle, and that's where we've got this little start to it. I think it goes that way. Yeah. Yeah, so I changed the colors. I am doing, the light color is Union Blue by Weeks Dye Works, and then the navy is, or the dark color is Classic Color Works Mermaid Tail, I believe is the name of it. Yeah, Mermaid's Tail, and then Union Blue. I'm doing it 2/1 on that 36 count. I like this a lot, but I would rather continue to work on some of my other ink circles before this one. It's just, I really like the colors that I picked and I like the way it looks, but I have not been feeling it to work on it, so it's probably not going on the card, but I do like it and I'm definitely going to work on it more. Unless I may restart it. I've thought about it, but I don't know. I really do like it, but I'm not a huge linen fan, and that may be why I've not been so eager to work on it. So it's kind of a, we'll see. I really like the piece of linen I have, it's just that it's linen that I don't really like, so that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, this is one that will definitely be going on my board, if not an additional one, even though it's not a whip. So this is the Elemental Dragons Earth. I have all 4 of the Elemental Dragons. I also have the little Patreon exclusive one from Tracy that is kind of incorporates some of them into an individual piece. I am doing all of them on 40 count Verdal in different colors, and then a single thread, a variegated thread that I'm using. So this one is also Earth. I really love this fabric, as the last like 5 things have been on it, it seems. And then this is on Lugana. And then, or no, sorry, Verdal, it's 40 count. And then the floss is Foliage by Weeks Dye Works. So it's a brown to green variegated floss. I'm about, I guess, a quarter of the way through since I've got one of the corners in the center, but there's some more to do. I really like this piece, and this is definitely going on the card. When I said I might add another one, it could be because I want to keep, I have all 4 of them and I want to continue, I want to work on the others as well. So I have air, water, and fire. I think I've settled on the fire floss. I've got the fabric for all of them, and then I'm gonna see about keep working on that. This may also be on, yep, this is also on 40 count. This is Gaia though, that's right. Okay, so this is another piece of Verdal. Oh, let me show you. This is Blueprint to a Rainbow City, also by Ink Circles. This is, I have this on 40 count Gaia by Be Stitch Me. And I changed the colors. The blue is a Threadworks that I love. I don't remember the name of it. No, but I don't have the color either. the number. So it's a beautiful dark blue, variegated color. I really like it. It's like ocean blue maybe. I don't know. If it's a color that you're interested in, if you'd like to see what it is, send me a message. I'll be happy to figure it out. I've got it. Oh, I have it in my book, I think. Nope, Princess. Yes, 40 count for doll. I didn't write it. I just put threadwork. So, nope, I don't have it. Okay, so if that is something that you would like to find out what it is, let me know. I haven't started the rainbow part. I have a couple options. I have a couple silks that are not in here. So the Threadworks Bradley balloons is what the called for is. I like this. It's a little bit more neon-y than like the rainbow flag type of thing. And I'm trying to do this kind of as more of like a pride like sort of thing. I also have Confetti by Weeks Dye Works, which is another possibility. I have a couple rainbow, I think it's Pride by Mrs. Sadis, and then one of the rainbow ones from Silks for You that I have a hank of for a project, so I might use one of those. I haven't decided what I want to do on the rainbow part yet, so I don't think I'm going to use the Bradley's balloons. I like it, but it's just, I want to go a little bit more definitely pride flaggy than not. So this is definitely one that I want to work on more and want to continue. So yeah, I started it in June, I think, as part of Pride Month. Okay, so stay here. I'll be right back. So, my last piece, this is by Country Magic Stitch, and this is one of her vintage travel poster style things, and this is a Star Wars one. This is Welcome to Naboo. I did another one of hers, Hoth, that is here in my living room. It's on that wall, so you can't see it, but I want to get this one done because it would go, it's not quite as close enough in colors that it'll fit, and it thematically, Hoth and Naboo really have very little to do with each other in the Star Wars universe, but it will look good in my room, so I'm using that. I'm about, I guess, a quarter of the way through. I definitely want to have this on my board. This is just on an 18 count white Aida, and I'm doing it 2/1 full cross. I think it is full coverage, but unlike a Haid or something like that, it's pretty big blocks of color. So if I do more of these, which there are a couple, there's some Lord of the Rings ones that I liked. I don't know that I bought any others. I may have some other Star Wars ones, but if I do more of these, I think I'm going to switch to 28 count and do it 2/1 in the 10th stitch like I do my Haids. That's just my initial, that's my thought. It will make them smaller. Maybe I won't do that because these are fit pretty good on a 9x10, 9x11. I don't remember. There's a good size canvas that fits pretty good for these. So that may be a reason why I wouldn't switch it, because it would. But anyway, that's not really here or there. That's a definite one that I want to continue to work on. I haven't really worked on it in a while, but I used to stitch on it some when I was in bed, because it's one where it's like I don't really have to pay attention to the pattern that much. So that's pretty much it. Oh, we need to count. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, and 38. So it's not 50. That's good. Well, it's not good or bad. I really didn't really know how many I had. I have started 50 projects this year, and I carried over a few things from last year, but otherwise, I mean, I have finished. I have finished 29 things, but I count each of the letters as a finish. I'm not sure how the math works or how to like check on that, but yeah, my RBG's not, well, I've got at least 30 things that I've done this year. I finished. So yeah, that's I don't know what I was gonna say. So 38. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, because I've started 50 and I've finished quite a few things this year, and I haven't got to that point yet, I don't think. Did I get? No. So on my Hades, since I use Pattern Keeper, I don't really, and I start in the bottom left corner because of the way I make my X's or the way I make my stitches. It more mattered when I was doing full cross, but now that I'm doing a tent stitch, actually probably would be better to start over there because, anyway, but the bottom makes sense. The way I stitch makes the most sense for me to start there. But because that's the part of the chart where you get partial pages, I didn't really want to count that as that's a page finish or not a page finish. But so I took the number of pages and then I divided it. I took the number of stitches for the project, and then I divide it by the number of pages, and then that gives me like an average of stitches per page. And so that is my, like, when I get to that point on the project, that's when I call it, that's a page. It may not be a physical, a square, it'll be whatever it is, but I'm gonna call it that as a page. I had kind of overestimated my HAID skills or ability to stay on task with those this last year, and so I was like, I want to get this many pages, I want to get that. Yeah, that didn't happen. I also restarted both of them and one of them twice in the year. So, but I'm secure now in the fabric choices that I have. So I'm gonna try to figure out that. I'll probably put some pages of certain heights or certain number of stitches, and go as slots. But yeah, I've got 38 projects, 24 slots. I'll be able to do it. I know I'm starting at least one other thing. I have the Miss Christmas Eve from Mirabilia that I want to start, and a couple other things. The Autumntown will be started this year. So there will definitely be some other things to get on my board before the end of the year, and then kind of go from there. I may add in a couple, like work on a new start for a week or something, or 2 weeks or something like that, and just kind of like figure that out. It may just end up being a lot of this guy and some of my other sals to get them caught up or finished or worked on. So anyway, well, that was interesting. 38 projects. We are not at 2 hours, but we're getting close, so I'll stop talking. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is gonna take a while to upload because it's such a long video and all of that, but it will be there at some point. I will still do a normal floss tube with some of these projects that I showed this time. There will probably be some more stitching on it from here, so maybe not, but I'll show them all again and do my haul and all that stuff the next time I do a floss tube. You can see I do have my tree finished decorating, so I have that. I got that finished yesterday. Finished putting up what I want to do for the year. I may make a little changes if I find some other ornaments that I want to use or whatnot, but I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like I've talked really quickly because I have. So if you have a way to slow it down, you might want to use that, or just kind of power through it. Anyway, thanks for sticking around if you did, and I enjoyed doing this, and I'll see you all later. Happy stitching!